Okay, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Velocity Trade platform training session this evening. Obviously, we've got quite a bit to get through, and there's been a lot of developments in the markets. And I think a lot of people that have joined us tonight are probably new clients and or people looking for a new platform. So I am going to introduce who we are, what we do, and just take you through it. With me on the call today, I've got Chris O'Krog. So he's one of our securities brokers. He's really run kind of our Velocity business for a long time. Great, great in terms of technical questions. I've really got him on here. So if I get stuck anywhere or there's any nuances that I don't get 100% right, Christo's going to jump in and assist me. But yeah, so obviously, yeah. What we're going to go through is just an introduction to who we are. I'm going to look at how to set up a Velocity account, what you do when you first get your welcome letter, kind of answer any questions around onboarding and setup. We're going to look at the trade desk versus the Velocity Trader app. We're not going to look at the TradingView plugin this session. We are going to run these sessions regularly. So this session will be put up on our YouTube channel, which is www.youtube.com/Rand Swiss. So this should be available tomorrow. But we are going to run a series of these sessions just to try and get everyone au fait with the app. Of course, it's been a little bit of a crazy week with the amount of onboarding that we've done. So I was saying, I don't know if anyone's watched The Pit. I don't normally go in for medical dramas, but it does feel like triage in a hospital room in the company at the moment, obviously with IG Markets deciding to exit South Africa this week. Or last week, Thursday, and putting all their clients on 60 days notice, saying they can only reduce positions. So we're going to chat about just the differences. A lot of this is also going to be the differences between the Velocity Trader platform and Rand Swiss versus IG Market specifically, because I know a lot of people on this call today are IG clients that are now obviously looking for the other alternatives or have come to us and are starting their journey with Rand Swiss. And of course, there's going to be nuances. I remember moving from one bank to another bank, and technically the bank I moved to was meant to be the technological leader, but because and I think my bank was, I don't want to give the names, but was the worst by a long way. But even then, because it was a new system, because it was different, I was getting frustrated with it. And I think that's something to be expected when you are cutting across from one system that you're used to. Maybe you've been on the platform for 10 years, and suddenly you have to now learn something new. It's going to be a little bit frustrating, but we are here to support you guys all the way. And it's one of the reasons that we're running this webinar session this evening, and we will be doing a series of them. As I said, a little bit of like an emergency ward feel in the office at the moment, as we've just got casualty after casualty coming through. And of course, we're trying to stabilize everyone, get their accounts open as fast as possible. And yeah, I believe IG Markets did have 5,000 active trading accounts, which is a significant volume to suddenly have to find a new home. So if you are getting calls from us, if you're chatting to us, if your account is already opened, it means that you're incredibly important to us, because it has been a little bit crazy. So we're going to go through just Trade Desk versus the Velocity Trader app. Like I said, we will look at the TradingView plugin in future sessions. These accounts can plug directly into TradingView, so you can actually trade out of TradingView as the charting package directly into your underlying trading account as well. I'm going to go through the mobile application. From the conversations that we've had over the last week, most people are trading on mobile, so I think it's quite important that we have a good look at the mobile app. Then I'm going to cut across to the desktop and the browser app, and I'm going to just show you a couple of things that go on there. And then, of course, margins and costs are the big other question, which I'll take you through. I'm going to try and leave as much time for Q&A as well, so we can always go back, answer any questions. There's a chat window that's open, as well as the Q&A section. Feel free to hit us in the chat window or the Q&A section. If it's something that's pertinent to there and I'm not going to cover it later, I'll answer it during the session. If it is something I'm going to answer, I might just ignore it until we get to that position and leave that for the Q&A. But please, as you think of things, just stick them in the Q&A box and the webinar chat, and we'll try and cover them. So who is Rand Swiss and what do we do? So we are a full service broker. So I think that's also the first distinction that's important to make between IG Markets and Rand Swiss. IG Markets is specifically a CFD trading platform. There is a FTSE 250 company, but they only deal in CFDs. Now, our product spread is a lot wider than theirs. You can trade equities in these underlying accounts. We literally create bespoke structured products for people. We have a wealth division that will literally look at RAs and pension products. We've got fiduciary services to assist with trust and company setups. So there's a lot wider scope of services that we cover as a full service broker. Now, we essentially incorporated the business in 2014, licensed in 2015. So we've been in the South African market for the last 10 years. And over the last 5 years, I think we've won the top securities broker in South Africa, according to the Financial Mail and Krutham, 4 out of the last 5 years. Last year, we were both a top full service broker and we won the top online broker as well. So the technology is excellent. We hope the service is excellent. If the service hasn't been excellent in the last week, please bear with us. It is a huge volume of clients to take in at the moment. But yeah, that's really who we are. We work in our different verticals. We essentially work across 3 different divisions. You often hear us talk about 1, 2, and 3 if we're talking to you. IG Markets essentially was a 1. It was just a securities broker, technically just execution only as well. We are a Cat 1, Cat 2 business. What that means is we can do both execution services for you. We can give you an online application, give you a trading app. You can bounce ideas off us, and we can supply research around ideas. We have a number of research analysts. None of them are up here. So Anthony Clark, for example, is contracted to us. He's the top small and mid-cap analyst in the country. Piet Serfontein, he sits on the board of TASA, which is the Technical Analyst Society of South Africa. He regularly sends out trade ideas to our client base as well. We do a host of webinars. And we've got a fairly deep bench. You'll see, I think, some new faces with IG shutting down as well. But yeah, depth of research. We send trade ideas. We're active, and we can give advice, full advice around this. We also do discretionary model portfolios for clients, in which I'm not going to talk about them too much. There are other webinars around them on our YouTube channel. But I mean, we've run. I personally run I'm a portfolio manager. I run a discretionary stockbroking portfolio in the US. It's a global portfolio, but with a US tilt. For the last 9 years, outperforms the MSCI World. Viv Govender, who you see up there, is the other PM. He runs an artificial intelligence portfolio, which I'm always a little bit jealous of because he takes a lot higher risk in it. It's kind of a paradigm shift way of investing. And I mean, he's destroyed the S&P 500 over the last 2.5 years, as you would expect with a fairly concentrated position in Palantir. As I said, structured products, we build out our own structured products. So a lot of the conversations, interestingly, that we've been having with clients over the last week, they're using these derivative accounts to hedge, a bigger portfolio. That's not always the most efficient way of doing it. We have lines directly into Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley, Citigroup, BNP Paribas, BBVA. And we can actually tailor a derivative strategy to achieve a very specific outcome if you're not just going in and out of investment products. And, we found wide appeal for that. And in a market that has been as difficult as it has over the last couple of years, they've delivered exceptional returns for clients. In a flat market, these things really, really do perform. But I'm sure as you get to know us, you'll probably learn a little bit more about that. And that's vertical 2, which is all done under our Cat 2 license. And then, of course, we've got wealth and advisory, which is the CFPs, the guys that will look at your investments, but they're going to look at you as a whole. They're going to tailor their investment advice directly to you. So if you're managing a long-term portfolio, or you've got a short-term trading account, you're thinking about a position, they can really put that in the context of your overall portfolio. As I said, Velocity Trade, which we're going to speak about today, we have a huge amount of global partners, and this is by no means exhaustive. This is actually more our local partners other than Swissquote and Velocity. But as I said, we've got Morgan Stanley, Goldman Sachs, a whole lot of other ones that should be on the slide as well. But Velocity Trade is only one provider that we use. It's one aspect to our business, and it's probably the most comparable to an active derivative trading account. Now, my background, when I started in markets probably 20 years ago, I sat on a derivatives desk. It was my job to essentially trade either on a prop basis or sometimes on a prop basis, sometimes for clients, um, you know, and do underlying client execution. I think I put $1 trillion through my intra, $1 trillion rand at least through my intra account. So I've done a lot of intraday trading, a lot of online trading historically. I mean, I spent 5 years doing that, so that's kind of my background. And when we started around Swiss, that really was the focus, was the securities broking and the trading aspect of it. The business has kind of matured over the last decade, and as we've engaged with clients, and I think we went through a period where people were very concerned about South Africa. Rand Swiss, the whole name was about Rand and Swiss. It was about South Africans, linking South Africans to international markets was a big core philosophy in the business about helping clients to diversify internationally. So everything from now doing the 10 million rand tax clearances. We did two for a client that had taken a distribution from a trust it was 2 weeks ago. Takes us 7 days to get them through. We've got in-house tax practitioners that can do those applications for you. So like I said, velocity, very comparable to IG, really powerful technology, helped us win top online broker in the Financial Mail. I've worked with them for longer than Rand Swiss has been in existence. A great team there, really solid development team as well. So really nice technology. But yeah, it's one aspect of the overall offering that we give to clients. Okay, so that's us. If you do have any more questions about us, or you would like to know more about us, please, I can talk about our business all night. And in the interest of time, I think 10 minutes is more than enough. So how to set up your accounts. So many people have already done the online mandates. If you do go to our website and you'd like to set up an account, it's really as simple as going and clicking. If it's a personal account, you just go click open an account in the top right-hand side. There's a questionnaire there. You complete the questionnaire. It's going to send us the mandate and the terms and conditions. Our compliance has a quick check. Generally, someone is going to phone you just to understand a little bit more about who you are, what you want, where we're putting you, because we're a more diversified business. You might be looking for a global portfolio. You might be looking for retirement planning. We don't know. At the moment, I think 99% of the applications are trading, given the challenges that we've seen in the market around IG shutting its doors. But we don't want to assume that. We want to get to know you. We're a full service broker. We want to understand what's happening, how we going to help, what is most appropriate. Are we going offshore? Are we going local? Are we putting this in a company? Is there a trust company set up? What services do you need that are most appropriate for you? Once you've set up your account and we've kind of had a call, then you're going to send us, if it's a personal name, you're going to send us 3 FICA documents, which is ID, proof of residence, proof of bank for a personal account. It takes, I mean, even with the backlog that we've had, I mean, we've been getting the personal accounts open. I think we did one today in an hour. It takes less than 24 hours to open an account with us. And once that account is activated, we're then ready to take a deposit and fund and get your online access set up. And that's really where this platform training session is going to start. So let's say that you've done your online application, you've sent us your FICA, you've received an email from Gabby or Liam saying your account has been approved. Here's the funding details. You've got a username. A username is going to be given to you. Now, the username is important because the username is actually your account. Now, so whenever you do a deposit, and we're going to talk a bit about deposits in a second, that username is what you use. It does say it in the documentation, but just use your username. I'll talk a little bit more about deposits. That's not necessarily the password and login that you're going to use to log in. Now, what we need to get to is this is the Velocity Trade portal. So to find that, you'd come to randswiss.com, which is our main site that covers, as you can see, securities, broking, managed solutions, and wealth and advisory. And if you look under so DMA is typically our, sorry, have I got, I think I might have lost audio here. If you guys can hear me, just let me know.
We can hear you. Just
can't hear me, just let me know in the chat window. But the one that you're looking at. You click Velocity, and that's going to take you to this page. Swissquote is our offshore banking solution for high net worth clients. It's a full Swiss bank account. There's all sorts of things you can do. DMA we typically use for model portfolios and portfolio management specifically. Some clients do have logins to DMA as well. We're in the process of rolling out another app, but you'll click Velocity Trade. That's going to take you to the Trade Desk portal, and I'm going to talk a little bit about there. This is essentially where the online trading landing page is. You just go up and say log in with Velocity. The first time that you ever log in, you're going to get to this Trade Desk screen. You're obviously going to have a username from your email, which is important, but we haven't set your password for security. We're not going to email you a password or anything like that. So only the first time that you log in, you just go and click forgot your password. That's all you're going to do. As you click forgot your password, it's going to say reset your password into your email address. Now, whatever you've put on your mandate as the setup for your account, that's the email address that's going to be used. You stick your email address in and you say next. It's going to send you an email saying, would you like to reset your password? You reset your password with whatever you can remember. If you use a password manager, however you use it. You just reset your password. That's going to give you access. You can then go back to the main screen here. You put in your email, you put in your new password, and that's going to then take you to what we call the trading desk. So the trading desk is essentially your administration portal. And I've had a couple of conversations with clients where they get confused by this and they say, must I log into my account twice? I don't understand. Must I log in and then log in again? Only the first time do you have to do that, because the first time you can always log into this admin portal. This is your when I say your back office space, this is where you manage your deposits, you manage your withdrawals, you can get your account statements. There is some market research in here. We plug into Profile Media, so if you want fundamental information around the securities that you're trading, we've got a Profile Media subscription for you. You can go through that, and you can also launch the trading platform from this site as well. So you can also add, so if you're going, I'm not sure, I want to kind of play around with the platform. We still onboard you as a normal client from a compliance point of view, but this is also the place where you would set up a demo account. So if you want to set up a demo account, you just go to demo account, and you can, sorry, I think I might have done the wrong one here because this is manage passwords, but you can also, there's a little profile button up at the top and you just say add demo account. And you can see here, we've got the live account that's been set up. And then we've got a demo account down at the bottom as well. So you've got this, so you can set up a demo account for yourself. You can load virtual cash. And of course, it is quite intuitive. So I'm going to go through each of the tabs on the left-hand side, but this isn't your trading system. When it comes to trading, we want your system to be as clean as possible. So this is more an administration portal, like, I need to get a statement for my accountant, or, I need to, I want to withdraw some cash, let me do that, or I need to play with a demo, or I want to reset like passwords, or I want to link my trading view account. That all happens in this system. If you want to, this is not the trading system. And the trading system, like I said, mobile, desktop, I'm going to show you that next. But that's where you set up your demo account, and that's where you set up your live account. If you want to make a deposit, now there's a couple of different ways to make a deposit here. You can do just a normal EFT transfer. So you don't need this. This is going to be on your welcome letter, but if you forget or you lose your welcome letter, you can always log in here. So I want to deposit money. How are you going to deposit money? One, it's just going to give you essentially the banking details to be able to make a deposit into the account. That's on your welcome pack. So you do have those details. Now, the rules around an EFT with us is that you do need to send us a proof of payment. So when you EFT, send a proof of payment either to support@za.velocitytrade.com, but please CC support@randswiss.com as well, so that we've also got a track and we will chase them. Sometimes it doesn't get allocated if you send it straight to the platform. If you reference your account correctly, and it's going to give you the correct reference on the account, if you're referencing your account correctly, at 9 a.m. each morning, it runs through anything that's cleared in the central inflow account, and it allocates that automatically to your trading account. If you, obviously, because this is a trading of leverage products, if you want to have your account funded quickly, so it's 3 o'clock, you look like you're going to go into margin call and you need to fund your account now, send that proof of payment, reach out to a dealer, just WhatsApp one of the dealers, or send it, even if you just send it to support and just say, guys, urgent, I need this credited to my account. As long as you send us the proof of payment, we can credit it intraday. It's really not a problem. We just got to basically do it manually. If you're happy and you're just kind of saying, okay, well, I'll just wait for it to credit automatically, as long as you reference correctly, 9 a.m. the next morning, the funds are going to be credited to your account when it sweeps out of the inflow account. You can use credit and debit cards to fund accounts as well. This is the portal where you would put in your credit card details and fund through PayFast. So you basically, instead of clicking bank transfer, you just click your credit and debit card, put in your credit card details, credit card payments credit immediately. I mean, Krista also just reminded me earlier, if you are trying to fund overnight, because we're manually crediting it during the day, if you're trying to fund overnight, so you're trading a USD contract, like a S&P 500 contract, or you buying some Google shares and you want the funds to reflect immediately, the only way to get a credit funds overnight is to do a credit card payment, because that will sweep instantly and it'll just pay into your account. So that's the credit and debit card. It is obviously more cost efficient because you're going to pay credit and debit card fees. I believe there's an instant EFT option that's a 1.5%. I think credit card payments run at 2.8%. EFTs are free. So EFTs are the better way of funding an account. But if you need to do it in an emergency in the evening, or you specifically want to use a credit card for whatever reason, this is the functionality. This is where you would fund an account from a credit card. Then if you want to do a withdrawal, the withdrawals you can manage yourself. You don't have to send or do paperwork or anything like that, like a list. You literally just, when I say you don't have to do paperwork, you select, okay, this is going to have a drop down of all your accounts. So if you've got multiple sub accounts, let's say you're running a couple of different strategies, you just select the account you want to withdraw funds from, and then your banking details will be loaded here. Obviously, I've blanked this out for this thing. There's a withdrawal fee of 26.80 Rand on withdrawals. That's just important to be made aware of. And often, if you've never withdrawn before, they're going to request a copy of your bank statement as well. So please don't get surprised when you withdraw for the first time and they say, please, can we just get confirmation of your bank account? It's a security measure. It's part of FATCA. South Africa's already on the grey list. Everyone is tightening up compliance processes at the moment. So, of course, we don't want to pay to an account that's not you. We don't want to, we want to make sure that this is the FICA account, that this is still an updated account. We've got a lot of security measures in place to make sure things don't get paid to the wrong place. But please don't give us hassles on the first one when we say, please, can we have a latest bank statement to do with the withdrawal? But yeah, that's how you process a withdrawal. Then, as I said, I'm not going to show you the market data stuff today, but you can also generate a whole host of reports out of here. So your CFD profit and loss reports, trade reports, account statements, withholding tax reports, contract notes, the works. This is where you get all those kind of like documents that you need for an accountant, or to kind of file tax returns. All of that is in here. Velocity doesn't create an IT3B and IT3C, so this isn't going to be populated into your e-filing profile. If you're specifically looking for that kind of service, we have other providers. Like if you're looking at building this is a trading platform through and through. Like I said, most comparable to IG. You can buy equities in here, but if we're going to do a long-term equity portfolio, or specifically you want the tax to be reported directly into SARS, we can do that. Just this platform doesn't do it. So that's also something to be aware of. And also, whenever I chat to clients, it's like some of them want it reported, others don't want it reported. This one, we supply you a statement that will have all your interest on it. It will have all your capital gains on it. It will have all your trading P&L on it. The statements are comprehensive, but it's not linked to e-filing, just so that you're aware. Okay, so if there are any questions about that, just hit us up. So that was then Trading Desk. So that's your admin portal. Now we're going to look at two different things. So here we've got essentially, okay, so I'm going to say 3/4 ways that you can trade into your account. Now this is the trading stuff. This is like, where do I buy and sell MTN? Where do I hit my top 40 contracts? How do I go long and short? That's what this is about. This is about simple execution into your account. Like I said, so I'm going to start with the mobile app because a lot of people trade on mobile. It's available in the Play Store and in the App Store. When you log in here, you can just scroll down to the bottom of one of the pages in your Trade Desk site and hit the download the app. that will download the app. All the download links are in the Trade Desk site for you. So if you need to get the latest version or you want to launch the browser app, you can launch a browser app from inside the platform as well. But if you are going on mobile, that's what the Velocity app looks like. It's this little like V of like a stock chart going up. It says Velocity Trader, and you can download that app, or you can download it out of the Trade Desk portal as well. And this is what it looks like. So once you open the app, obviously I can't do a live demo of an app. It's going to be complicated. I probably could, but I'm not that technologically savvy to be able to do it. But this is essentially what the account is going to look at. Now, just a note on passwords as well. You'll see that there's two logins on your app. You've got login with Velocity and you've got login. Now, login with Velocity is your single sign-on. So if I go all the way back to here, this password that you originally set up, that's login with Velocity. You only ever have to set that password up. There's no other additional password that you need to set up as long as you're logging in with Velocity. You use your email address and the password that you chose right in the beginning. That's going to get you into your trading app. Now, you can go into the Trade Desk portal. Like I said, when we're setting up a Trading View plugin, that's when you need the actual underlying password. So you can set it up where you log in directly into this app as well. There you can actually set a different password if you want to for whatever reason. That's the top login, but it's mainly to do with, like the ability to link TradingView to systems. But yeah, for your purposes, you're just going to click login with Velocity, which is the bottom one. You're only going to have to log in once on a phone, and then we've got the biometric login after that. So you log in once with your password, and then it's just literally, I think I check my Velocity app like 20, 30, 40, 50 times a day. So I literally just click and thumbprint into the app, or I don't know, I'm sure people use face stuff as well. I use the thumbprint. You just thumbprint into the app and it goes for it. If you've set up a demo platform, just remember that we need to connect to the demo server when you're running on a demo platform. So if you see up at the top here, it says live. If you click on that, the second screen is going to come up and it's going to say live and demo. Sometimes we have issues when clients, they say, I'm trying to log in and it just won't log in. And for somehow they've selected demo when they're trying to log into their live account. Just bear in mind, in the Trade Desk portal, you're going to set up, if you are setting up a demo account, you've set up a demo, you've set up your live account, just make sure that you've selected live or demo when you're logging in and you've got the correct credentials either for your demo account or your live account if you're going to go into the demo environment. It's a whole different server setup. But for most people, it'll be a live setup, and you just leave that. I mean, for me, I've always left it on thing. Okay, great question. So yeah, is Velocity Trader available for Mac? So Velocity Trader, like the whole system, yes, but not the downloadable client. Can you use this exact mobile app on an iPhone? Yes, you can. Like I said, App Store and Play Store. If you're looking at doing the desktop client, so if you've got the desktop demo and the desktop client, which I'm going to show you in the second half of the presentation, it's so similar to the web browser. There's a couple of nuances to the like when you're doing chart trading, that kind of stuff. It's very, very similar. There's a few things that are a bit watered down in the browser version, but as a Mac user, you would just use the browser version instead. And when I say watered down, I'm talking like minuscule stuff. It's like you can't. I actually don't even know what the things are and what they've improved. So the web version is very good, but that's what you would use on Macs. The desktop version is obviously for Windows, so that's like an executable file that you're going to download onto your desktop and load into it. But if we just so that's a great question on the Mac. It was something I should have answered earlier. But if we're looking at the mobile app, once you've logged in, you're going to get to the screen here. So I've just got Rand Swiss's account. This is a live account with 25 grand in. We funded today. I just for the purposes of this presentation, I took all the screenshots for you. So as I said, a huge range of different instruments from Google. So you can see here, we've got Goog, which is Alphabet. So you can see it's got the native. If you're searching in the search bar as well, that this is intuitive. When I say intuitive, it's a smart search. So you can search for Alphabet and it'll pull it up. You can search for Goog and it'll pull it up as well. But we've got obviously, this is trading on the NASDAQ exchange. So it's a NASDAQ listed Google. That's where the pricing feed is coming from. And you've got the CFD, and you can buy the equity. So you can buy shares in here, or you can buy the CFD as well. Same on the local exchange. You've got the local exchange plugged in here. I've got the MTN. The exchange is XJSE, which is the exchange JSE, and that's the CFD on MTN. This is the equity on MTN because it's EQT at the end. So MTN JSE equity, that's what you're looking at. Then I think the most popular contract, which we've been asked the most questions about this week, is our top 40 CFD. So top 40 CFD is here. That's called the ZA top 40 CFD. And then, like I said, I just want to make it kind of clear, and I'm going to go through just the top 40 versus all me in a second. But the top 40 CFD here, IG was the only provider, I think, as far as I know, in the world that offered a 24-hour JSE top 40 CFD. Now, the reason that no one else offers it is that we don't run a risk book on you guys. Like we do straight through processing. Like you're going directly into the market. We're not running a risk book on you. So essentially, like when you win, we win. We want you to win more than anyone else because then you stay active, you stay alive, and you stay happy as a client. We don't win when you lose, if you want to put it that way. Now, because of that, like we have to be able to hedge the underlying. So this top 40 CFD specifically runs from 8:30 in the morning until 5:30 in the evening, and it's backed into the SAFEX future, which is the ALSI and the ALMI. And that's where the hedge is performed underneath. So we can cleanly hedge it. We're not going to then go in and make up our own prices after hours. We're not kind of comfortable with that. If you are looking to trade 24 hours, there are plenty of contracts that trade 24 hours. One, you can trade the US session. There's no problem with that if you're looking at equities. The US 40, which is the Dow Jones index, the US 500, which is the S&P 500 index, and let's say the USDs. So all the currency pairs. These are 24/5 contracts. You can trade them at 1 in the morning if you like. Brent crude. I remember trading Brent crude oil. It's like there used to be this weird spike at 8 o'clock, then it would flatten out. But I mean, you can trade Brent crude oil through the night as well. So there are plenty of contracts you can trade 24 hours. The top 40 CFD, unfortunately, isn't one of them. We have spoken to our guys about creating it because there is a lot of demand for it. And obviously, we want to, what you guys want, that's what we want to build. You know, we want to try and make it as thing, but that it's not available at the moment. It is a product that is being seriously looked at in the future, but it's about working out how to do the underlying hedge safely for the overall book of clients. Okay, so this is if you build a watch list. This is your watch list that I've got. You can see on the bottom right here, I've got watch list, positions, orders, and order entry, and then more. So I'm going to go through a couple of those, but here I'm just saying how to do a watch list. So what I'm doing here is essentially I've got platform training up at the top here. If I click platform training, that's going to give me this little drop down, and you can see it says platform trading. I've got shorts, top 40, and I can create a new. So what I've done now is I've created a new watch list, and I've created a watch list called index. So you can easily flip between these watch lists. So if you've got specifically, you know, I'm trading currencies in the evenings. I want to just watch my currencies. And I've got a whole lot of top 40 watch list stuff I want to, and I've got a US watch list. You can just flip between the different watch lists and kind of neaten up how you trade. Whoops, I've got a spinning mouse button. Okay, so yeah, okay, so there I've just selected the index. So here are all the indexes. So I've just put indices, or I should put indices, but I put index. You can see we've got the top 40. We've also got the ALSI, and we've got the ALMI. So that's 10 Rand a point, that's 1 Rand a point, and the top 40 CFD. The margining is different across these. The ALSI June 25s and the ALMIs, we give you JSE margin. So remember, these are plugged into SAFEX, which is the South African Futures Exchange, and we pass on the JSE margin to you guys. Like a lot of other institutions, they'll take the ALSI and the ALMI, and they take the future and they add like 25% to the margin as well. We pass on JSE margin clean to you guys. You're going to get exactly that. It's not going to be as geared as the IG one, which was at 1.5% margin, I believe. Our top 40 CFD is, however, so our margins, and I'm going to show you the margins in a little bit, are a little bit different in that we have an initial margin and a maintenance margin. The initial margin is what you require in your account to open the trade. So in this case, where the account has 25,000 Rand in it, I can take 25,000 Rand and I can put that whole amount on margin and buy top 40 CFD, and I will get a 2% margin is what it's. So it's going to be 50 times geared movement. I have also a maintenance margin. The maintenance margin on the top 40 CFD is 1.1%. So it's just over half of what is required. So whereas IG's was at 1.5, to open the trade is a little bit more onerous, but to keep the trade open before you get auto margin calls is a lot lower. So we give you a little bit more flexibility on the ability to ride out volatility, but we do require a little bit more safety. But it is still a 50 times geared contract for anyone that's looking at it. All of our currency contracts are 100 times geared, for example. You're putting down a 1% margin on the currencies, but I'll show you how to do that. Now, how to check all of these things in the system. So one of the little like almost cheats on the app that the app is very intuitive. Like I said, watch list, positions, orders, order entry. Any trader should know those things. I want to buy, push the shopping basket. I want to see what's in my briefcase. Those are all the stocks that I've already bought, and I'm on the way to the till with all my stuff in the basket, ready to make a purchase. That's your orders. So really intuitive stuff. The thing that maybe isn't intuitive is that if you long press on the watch list and you long press on, let's say, the top 40 CFD, it's going to bring up this little menu here. Now, the top and bottom are quite easy to show, so that just moves the contract to the top or bottom of the watch list. If you can filter it by symbol, by the change for the day. If you want to see, here's all my top 40 stocks. I want to see what's up and down for the day. You can filter on that. So those two are intuitive. I don't need to do a slide on those, but I'm now going to just show you. So there's charting in the package, there's market depth in the package, order entry and symbol info. So I'm going to look at alert, chart, and market depth next. So market depth, different systems give you different market depths. Different data providers give you different data depths as well. Typically on JSE equity CFDs, we're giving you a market depth of 5. So you can click on market depth. You can see the underlying order book. And remember, this is straight through. This is direct market access. We are not kind of messing around with spreads or anything on our equity derivatives. If you put in 1,000 MTNs to buy, you'll see your order in the market depth. If you open a different broker system, you'll see those 1,000 parked in their system as well. Like we're going straight into the central order book of the JSE. As you can see from behind me, it's not that light, but I mean, I am sitting in the Johannesburg Stock Exchange building at the moment. Like our offices are in the Johannesburg Stock Exchange. We're not trying to shade spreads and do this like in a dark pool of liquidity somewhere. We trade through, okay, these are still OTC products, but we're doing the hedge of the delta underneath. So we are actually, when you go and buy 1,000 Anglo CFDs, we are buying 1,000 Anglo equities underneath that and then hedging the delta and essentially hedging that and sending it across to the banks to write the CFD. So everything is actually, like, all of your CFDs are backed into physical as well. And if you buy a lot of MTNs, you're going to push up the price of MTN. This is not like just some traders sitting on the other side of you. So that's the market depth. If you click on the chart button, so if you remember the chart button over here, which is at the top, I actually love these charts. I'm going to be honest. I mean, I know we've plugged in TradingView because TradingView is supposedly the best charting package in the world, but I actually do technical analysis on these charts sometimes. It's actually surprisingly fun to play with. You literally just click your little order thing. You can drag lines between them. You can put your channels together. You've got hourly, daily market, like minutes. You can go and set your period. You can trade off here as well. You can kind of click that little button and you can go and see, it just gives you the arrow so that you can go and see price and volume if you want to go and look at a specific candle, for example. You can switch from candles to tick charts. It's all in there, and it is pretty self-explanatory once you play around with it on the app. You've obviously got alerts as well on that little menu, so you can also set an alert. If I just go back to the menu, sorry. Yeah, there we go. So I've turned off my spinning scroll wheel. Yeah, so if we go and select add an alert over here, you can also set up notifications and you just set a condition. When it's greater than this value, please pop me a little, make a sound, pop me a little pop-up on my app to say that my stock has gotten to that place. You can actually set email alerts as well, so it can actually send you an email when something happens. Then the next one is symbol info. So if you're looking for where the margining is on a specific product, so in MTN, for example, this is where we get all the information about MTN. So this is just saying it's MTN JSE CFD, it's obviously MTN group that you're buying, what's your trading exchange. It gives you the ISIN on the product as well, which is quite important. You've got your delivery measure, which is the cash. Like delivery is also like if you're trading like a grain CFD. I mean, we had a trade, there's stories of a trader years ago, so used to trading Allsies, which are cash settled. And he was trading in the agri markets, and he thought, oh, I'll just let this. I think it was a wheat contract, it was a maize contract, I think, settle. And he literally got silo certificates, and they were like, go pick up your maize. So these are cash settles. So just giving you the delivery method as well. These things happen, but all of our stuff is cash settled, so you don't need to worry about collecting all your maize when your contract expires if you're trading a future. And these are mostly CFDs, which are continuous contracts anyway. Symbol status, obviously, because we're giving you a whole lot of different markets open and close at different times. So it's going to tell you, like, if the symbol is open. If you're going to try and buy Google at 10 o'clock in the morning, Google's closed. US market opens in the afternoon and trades into the evening. So you can see if your market is open or closed. You can see what kind of session it is. It also even gives you the next public holiday, because also quite often when you're trading and you're like, oh, I need to go and buy some Google, and you're going, oh, my platform's not working. I hate this platform. It's so stupid. I want to go back to my old IG platform. That's actually, it's because it's Liberation Day or it's Memorial Day, and the market's closed, and you can't trade on a closed into a closed market. So it's going to give you when the public holidays are. Like I said, we're going to talk about costs a little bit later, but in this, your fee on buying the MTN is 20 basis points, so 0.2%. It gives your short swap rate. Swaps are essentially your cost of funding, your carry cost on your trades. So you short on MTN, you're going to earn about 5.8%. I did take the screenshot today. I just want to check if the rate cut from last month is reflecting in this, but that's kind of where your long short swaps are. Our margin requirements, I'm going to talk a little bit more about margin in time as well, but we're really going to run out of time. So I've talked so much. But we use a fixed margin, and the fixed margins are adjusted regularly. So in this case, to buy an MTN contract, you're going to put down a 14 Rand initial margin, and your maintenance margin is going to be 7.78%. So you can spend 14 Rand per MTN CFD. That's what it's going to cost you to get an MTN CFD. You'll find our equity derivatives are geared around 10%. So with the fixed margin, it does fluctuate depending on the share price, but it moves between kind of like most aggressive is probably 5%, so 20 times geared. Least aggressive, if you're really buying like what's called a ZAO4 stock, something that's really liquid, high risk in the stock. The banks are getting nervous about writing CFDs against it. They might push up the margin to 20, 30, 40% margin on those contracts, and it's generally it's a wind down when they actually want to remove the CFD because they're no longer comfortable about the underlying reference instrument being a secure um, uh, uh, essentially asset to fund against. Um, but yeah, then it gives you the whole market schedule, and there's all this other information as well. So you can also, if you go to more, you can get a full sends feed in here. I particularly like the sends feed in this because, like, also in the old days, it would just link to that, that actual sends data, which is like hardcore data. They've now linked, so if it's an annual report and you go and click on like, Famous Brands his annual report, and you click on it, it actually opens the PDF annual report, so you can go and read through the stuff properly, which is I particularly like. Then, okay, let's do order entries now. So now all you're doing is clicking on order entry. You can do an order entry off the chart. You can do an order entry off the menu structure. Like I said, this little menu structure, you can go and hit order entry. You can hit order entry down there. These platforms are fairly intuitive. There's lots of ways to do the same thing depending on like the way that you feel easier, feel it's more comfortable. So if I hit order entry down at the bottom here, or I go on MTN and say I want to buy MTN, this is what's going to come up. I can buy or sell. I put in my quantity of MTNs. I can put in a stop loss and a take profit. I haven't linked them here specifically. I can choose a limit order, a market order, and OCO. We don't generally use OCOs anymore because the system has a stop loss and a take profit system in it. It's really nice. I love it, and I'm going to show it to you in a second. But it's going to give you your P&L on your trades as well, up and down. You can drag the charts up and down to amend your stop losses and take profits. Very cool stuff. But yeah, you can select that. You send your order into the market. If you drag down on that margin menu there, it's going to show you just like the whole risk of your account. It's going to say if you want to buy one MTN, that's going to cost you 14 Rand and your maintenance margin is going to be 7 Rand. So it's saying that's what you need to put down to get one. MTN's trading at 130 Rand. You're going to put on 14 Rand to get 130 Rand's exposure. And you're only going to need to maintain 7 Rand 78 in your account before we're going to margin call you. It'll give you your after traded funds and a whole lot of other stuff. So then what I did is I just put in 2 orders this afternoon. Okay, so I just did a Rand dollar. So I did $2,000 worth of Rand as an order. And I did 5 top 40 CFDs as an open order. So that's what if you click on orders. So now we've gone from order entry, because I mean, if you want to send this order, you just say, I want to buy one MTN, send order. It'll say, would you like to send? And you go bang, and your order is bought. Then once you placed your order is going to pop into the orders tab like that. You can see it's got a little icon over there saying I have 2 active orders. And you've got Rand dollar and top 40. Those are your orders. Now, if you click on so this is actually order history, but if you click on this, I think I've got it on the next slide, it's going to open it and allow you to modify the order, which is going to be the next slide. But if you want to go to order history, so like let's say I cancel all those orders, you can see you just click, if you go from working orders to order history, you just click on the back there, you'll see all the orders that you placed, and you can go and open the order to see exactly what you were there. I was going to buy $2,000 worth, and I was going to sell that much of Rand. So that was kind of the quantum of the trade. And it was a GTC order. So GTC, good till canceled. You can do a day order. You can set a time limit on your orders. You can do all the normal stuff that you'd be able to do with an order ticket. Order tickets are order tickets wherever you go. So then so here I'm just showing you the stop loss and take profit functionality. So if I modify the order, I had 5 top 40 CFDs open. Or when I say open, I was bid at 88,500. So I put my stop loss in at 88,100. It's going to give me what my potential loss is there. So that would have been a 2,000 Rand loss. And my take profit price is 89,500. It's going to give me my 5,000 Rand profit target. So it's going to give me where I am in terms of P&L before I set my order as well. It's telling me exactly how much I'm risking on the trade. So obviously I modified it. I added the stop loss and the take profit in this case. You can just change it to market as well. Dangerous button. Look out for that button. Like if you're looking at it, you can modify the order and just say, I've been waiting for this order forever, just change to market. And then it just takes the stock at market. So just, like we used to have that on the bulk thing, but like thankfully they've removed it. It gets too fun. Just take it at market. I'll just take it at market. But it's there. If you just want to get into the trade because it's running away from you, can just whack in, add at market. Working orders, like I said, like I've now modified it. I clicked in my working orders on the top 40. It gives me where the current price of the top 40 is, where my stop loss is, where my take profit is. And where my order is, and that's it. And that's modified telemetry trading exchange. I've got an order ID if you have to do it, the account that you're buying on if you've got multiple sub accounts here. And then the last tab, which is the more, that's going to give you settings, event log, alerts. It's we've talked about alerts. It's the same way to get different things. You can get an economic calendar of trading economics and profile data. Like I said, the profile data looks better. If you're going to go and deep dive a company, I probably wouldn't do it on a mobile. That I would do on a desktop app, but it is there. And then you've got your full sends feed as well. Okay, so let's go to the live system. I think I'm just going to have to log in. I don't know if you guys can see this. Can you see this? Yeah, thumbs up, thumbs down. You guys can see my screen. If I have to reshare it. Okay. So this is what this is the same account now. This is the desktop app. So I haven't really created anything. I've just basically killed everything and then put it together. Now it's just like 15 minutes for me to go through the desktop app. So this is the desktop app. I've just created a platform trading thing. I've put a top 40 on it. If you want to add a whole lot of instruments, like you said, you can go and explore the tree. And you can go and look at all the different instruments and the different currencies and commodities and all of that. But like I said, if you want to type alphabet, tell me that comes up. Yeah, so there's your Google, because it's picking up the alphabet ticker. If you want to type Goog, it's going to pick up your Google ticker as well. So you can see we've got this is the equities, the CFDs are there. So you've got the equities in red, CFDs in pink or purple. You can trade the Googles, you can trade the A class, or the C class. We can go and add that to our watch list if you want. Now, I typically just look at the ticker because I'm used to markets. If you're kind of newer to trading, you can go and put on a description if you like, and you can kind of have your description. It's very customizable. I mean, you can go in here and do pretty much whatever you like in here. I mean, there's so many different things. Like if you trade equities, for example, you can have the indicative auction prices open to see where something's going to uncross. You can go and put your bid and ask on if you want to look at the bid and ask column. You can actually do the percentage spread difference between them if you want to go and look at the spread. I mean, there's so many things. Like the simple one is just to kind of have, like your symbol, your last, your high, your low, like, and put that in. Let's go do some USD ZAR because that'll be open. And, yeah, so okay, so let's go and look at okay, so here's the South African Rand dollar. I'm just going to take off the description. Okay, so there's a Rand dollar pair. Now, remember, whenever you linking things, okay, so maybe before I go too in detail, if you are struggling in this, you can okay, so you've basically got these 3 menu items up at the top. If you are struggling with this, you can always go to the onboarding. So it's a little ship, and that's just to get you kind of affair with the platform as well. So you can just go to the ship and it's going to bring up your tour again. So you can go and start a tour. It's going to show you about how you set up workspaces. It's going to show you how to kind of clone your workspaces. It's going to show you how to link windows together. It's going to show all the things. It's going to show you how to do mouse trading. So it's got a whole kind of like detailed thing in there that you can go and do whenever you want. If you're getting stuck with something, you can just go look at the onboarding thing again if you like. Can you set order date for a specific date? Okay, so let's do a trade quickly so that you can see what happens. So validity, you should be able to set, I don't know, like it depends on the market as well, but limit order, good till cancelled. Yeah, I think you should be able to set it to a date, but I don't, yeah, I don't think on the Rand dollar contracts. I think you can on equity markets. Let's just try the equity CFD quickly. No, you can't.
Yeah,
Crystal, you can't set a specific date, huh?
I just want to say on velocity, I don't think you
Yeah,
can.
I think you're on mute. I knew Crystal was here for a reason. But you should be able to say, like normally we do good or cancel orders, but yeah, Crystal, can you set to a specific date?
No, not on velocity. I know in DMA you can.
Maybe you guys can hear. I can't hear, but I don't think so, but we'll come back to that. Okay, so let's carry on. Okay, so now we've got this platform up. If you want to look at the other tools as well. Okay, so I've got a watch list open in a chart, which is the top. I'm going to put a market depth up as well. So I'm just going to go put a market depth. You can see it's just like a drag and drop system. The important thing is just to obviously link your windows together. So here I've linked it all to yellow. So if I go and do top 40 CFD, which is closed at the moment, it's going to, because like I said, that closes, but let's go put like a US 500 on to the watch list. We can go put a US 500 on. That US 500, as long as I've linked all my windows together, it's giving me the market depth on the US 500. It's giving me a chart of what's going on the US 500. You can flip between manual and auto. I don't know, like obviously manual, you're just going to go back, but it's not going to link it to the actual price. This is going to link it to the price. So it'll always keep the price in the middle of the screen. So yeah, so there's S&P 500. That's your intraday chart. I've got it on a 1 minute tick. You can go move it to a daily. You can go and add like a second chart if you want. You can go put that chart down at the bottom, for example, and you can link that to yellow. So one, like a setup that I often use is I'll just have like a 5-minute window and a 1-day window because I want to see exactly what's happening intraday, and I also want to see what's happening in intraday. So I just want to see kind of like a general view of the platform, but then also, like let me just put that up there. So I might want it like that. So I can see my 1 day and I can see my 5 minutes. So I can see what's happening in the trend over a longer period of time. So I typically trade on like a 5 minute and a 1 day. But of course that's up to you guys. You set this up as you guys like it. I'm trying to think. Okay, so let's do a quick trade. So we've got 10 minutes to go, and I want to actually show you the order ticket and the positions. So obviously, one of the things that you want at the bottom, you want positions, working orders, and let's say order history, just so that you can actually see the underlying positions. So let's just double click on Rand dollar. Okay, so what are we going to do here? Okay, so we're now on Rand dollar. Let's just take this away so that you can see it. Okay, so we're at 1773 at the moment. We're like kind of coming down from that 20 level on the daily. I reckon, yeah, we're happy to buy some contracts here. So let's first just do a limit order away from market. So I'm just going to do it good till cancel. Let's say if we get to 1760, we want to go and buy, yeah, let's have a look. Okay, 1760, we want to stop out if we get to 1730, because then things have gone disastrously wrong. Maybe like even deeper than that, 1720. And we want to do our take profit at, let's say, reasonably 1860. So we're basically risking 2 to 1 on that. You can see per like essentially contract, I'm going to risk $500 to make 1,000, and I can just push that up as high as I want or whatever we want. So let's do, okay, so how much we've got on this account? 25,000. So we'll just do like 4 grand on this trade now. So we'll just place it and we'll say, okay, cool. And that then goes into the market live. So now we've got an order on here, and you can see on your chart, it's given you the take profit and the stop loss. If we go and click on the limit order there, so we haven't actually executed at this stage, so I've got no positions, but I have one working order for Rand Swiss here. So you can see where my take profit price is, you can see where my stop loss price is, status created. Okay, this is not bound to anything, I'm taking that off. I also like order IDs. You might like an order ID if you need to kind of like discuss a trade specifically, but I normally just turn off the order ID as well. So you've got the account if you're trading in the sub account, limits, depending on which sub account you're trading, and there it is. So you can see my take profit and my stop loss are on the chart here. I'm going to make 8,000 Rand if I ping there and trigger, and I'm going to lose 4,000 Rand if it pings and suddenly goes to 1710. Like I said, I can drag and drop this on the chart. So if I want to make it deeper, I can say, wait a minute, I didn't get those levels right. I want to do it right up to the top there. You can see I'm going to make $17,000. So it'll be 17,600 if I get right to the top of that channel. So if we get a reversal back to 20, this trade will make me $17,000. If I go, oh, 4,000 is a little rich, I want that stop loss a little shallower, I can just drag it up and say, okay, cool, there's my stop loss, a little shallower as well. So you can kind of drag your stops up and down. If I want to cancel the stop loss, I just say cancel stop loss, and bang, the stop loss is gone. If I want to put the stop loss back on, I can just drag it down and say, okay, cool, there's my stop loss. I want it at 5,000, reasonable, no problem. Yeah, I don't know if there's anything else to that. Yeah, so there's my order. You can kind of also, like I said, like if you push control, you can do mouse orders as well. So if I want to do a buy limit order there, I can just place a quick order. So here's me placing a whole lot of quick orders in the depth, and you can see me just placing mouse orders down at the bottom there. So it's a whole lot of like, I'm just buying one at a time. You can then set what you want to do on your mouse orders, and you can just say, okay, I'm going to go and buy a whole lot of things down there. Now you can see all the order tickets kind of stacking up there. I'm going to buy 8 there, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Then I go, no, wait a minute, I want to cancel these. So I can go and cancel them individually. So I can go and say, okay, I actually don't want all of these orders in my order book. Or I can just go modify, and I can just go say cancel those orders. And I just say cancel my orders. Now all those orders are canceled as well. So you can cancel them off there. You can cancel them off the chart. Yeah, and that's pretty much that. Okay, so let's actually just do a live trade quickly. Same thing. Okay, let's go and say, okay, what are we going to trade? Let's say 1773. Come on, it's got to go up. Yeah. Let's do like a tenth of a contract. Okay, so the other thing that's quite important is just to look at your margin requirement. So you can see there's this little toggle that clients sometimes don't find either. This little toggle goes backwards and forwards. And you can see that's my account balance. If I were to trade, let's say a tenth of a contract, it's going to use 1,700 Rand out of my account. That's my initial margin. And it's going to use a maintenance. It's going to require $900 in the account to keep the trade open. So let's go and do that trade. I'm just going to trade it at market. So let's go place the order. Bang. And now you can see Okay, order is filled. Now I've got a Rand dollar contract in here. So I've got now a live position in my positions tab. Same thing, that little order basket, like I said, the little shopping basket has changed into a briefcase because I actually have this position. It's giving me a running total of my P&L over there. I can just move the take profit up and say, cool, that's going to be a 7 grand profit. And maybe I trade down to a 7 grand loss if it goes to 16.95. And I can leave that. I can leave that in the market, and we can come back and see what's going to happen to that trade. Technically, I know it's terrible, but I don't really trade with stop loss. It's not my style. I'm watching this stuff all day, every day, and I don't like stop losses. You can't be stopped out if you don't have a stop loss, except when you run out of money. But yeah, so I like put a take profit on. I'm actually going to take the take profit off, and I'm just going to leave this live, and I'm actually going to put another order down. I'm going to put another order down there, probably. Yeah, but you can also buy and sell here. So I'm actually going to put another order in straight off the market depth. I'm just going to make it a limit order, and I'm going to trade it at 17.65. We can buy another one down there. So yeah, put that in. If you want to see, so Krista actually taught me this. I didn't actually know. I used to go onto my watch list and go, can I please have a right-click menu, symbol info, and then go and look at that same symbol info information. Krista shows me like you can also just click there to get symbol info. So there's lots of stuff that you can look at. Like I said, 24/7 contract, go and have a look at all of this. We've got 3 minutes to go. So I just want to get to costs and margins as well. So that we're there. So that is the live system. I've left those orders open because that's fine. And I mean, I could have set an alert or something, but those are in. Okay, margins. So the margins in the system, like I said, you go to that symbol info, you can always tell what the margining is. We've already actually chatted about margins. So I put the top 40 contract up for you guys. Top 40 contract is 2% margin, 1.1% margin, maintenance margin. I've given you a whole lot of different things that you can trade at different margins. Obviously, the index margins don't really change too much. I mean, we can motivate to change them as well. I know we are re-looking at a lot of these things. Equity CFDs, as I said, they have fixed margin, but typically around 10%. And then our offshore products, the one thing that is quite cool is when you go and buy an offshore product, the spread that you face is the bid ask on like the Rand dollar if you're buying a dollar-based product. So wherever the ask is trading on the system, that's what you get. There's no spread or anything added to that. So it is actually really like efficient for like a company or a trust that can't trade internationally because we haven't set up a separate asset swap. It's a very low cost way of doing it if you want to trade out of a Rand balance. Of course, if you want to trade out of a dollar balance, then I'm going to say, cool, like you can do dollar-based accounts here as well. We literally do that. We take the FX, we send it across to the offshore custodian, and you can have properly externalized funds on this platform as well. It's not a problem. But like I said, there we'd probably want to have a broader discussion with you. I mean, we've got Swiss banks that we can use. It would be, let's talk about what you're trying to achieve. There's many, many different ways of getting there. Cool. And then costs. Okay, so our costs, these were our costs. So these costs are still up on our website. Now, as you guys said, like one of the reasons that we're doing this platform training session is because of what's happened. And, we're trying to give our guys, a whole lot of guys a new home. Yeah, our view has been, yes, a lot of people are looking, and yes, we're getting a lot of account applications, but this is absolutely like not the time to like hammer clients or like make their lives difficult. I mean, I've always believed in kind of promoting like an orderly, like solid, good financial system in South Africa. Like in this case where we have a lot of clients that need to move accounts, we kind of happy to step into the breach and try and almost do the right thing. So what we've done is typically what we did in the past is our pricing. I mean, we were fairly expensive in terms of the 25 to 50,000 account, the 50 to 250, because we typically work with, at least on a trading account, 250,000 plus. Our minimums were deliberately high, saying if you want to come in with a smaller account, we are a high touch broker. We want that kind of service. We want to give you that kind of service. So typically we just said negotiable, and, kind of on the bigger accounts, like we'll kind of price almost with the client each time. With what's happened is we are, specifically matching IG's prices, initially to make sure that everyone doesn't feel like suddenly I was trading at 20 basis points. Now I'm trading at, 50. This isn't fair. So we kind of like, for all the IG clients coming across, we're going to match the prices for you at IG. It is taking a little bit of time just to update it on our side because the pricing was actually quite obscure in how they were charging. So we just want to make sure that it's 100% accurate. So, and that's, making sure the spread is right, making sure the reporting loop, like if there was like extra things in, but we are matching IG's pricing as well. So please feel free to, can you trade the US Tech 100? Yes, we can. I don't know if you want me to trade it specifically now, but yes, it's on the system, Brian. You can trade it, Tech 100, so the NASDAQ index. I can show it to you afterwards. But yeah, like I said, these are our older pricing. We're going to looked after if you are coming across. We kind of have always been committed to being a low cost broker as well. But we want to add value. That's the main thing that we're trying to do for you guys. And also by moving all these new accounts onto our platform, it's also going to allow us to negotiate with the suppliers and liquidity providers, and we can get our institutional cost lower as well. And if we can do that, we can make the margin on the other side too. So happy to kind of like, we are re-looking at our fees at the moment to make sure that you guys are all happy and looked after and find a good home at Transfers. So thanks a lot for listening. If there's any more questions, I think Christo's actually been answering them in the Q&A box as we've been going along. But that takes us to just after 7 o'clock. Is there any other questions that you guys want me to go through? I can quickly show you the NASDAQ trade if you like. I think I actually closed my platform. I can't show you the NASDAQ trade. I've already closed. Let me open up quickly. Yeah. It's closed. Okay. But cool. All right, guys. If there's nothing else, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for joining us this evening. We really hope to see you soon. If we have chatted to you in the last week, and yeah, like I said, just please bear with the guys. It has been a bit chaotic, but I think we're getting to most people, and I think honestly the team has done a fantastic job on trying to kind of like I suppose solve problems, because I mean that's what business is about at the end of the day. It's what I firmly believe in. I mean, private sector is here whenever if you can see a problem in the world, business generally has a way of solving it. And I think that's what we're doing our best to think. Oh, Hannes van Tonder, is there a monthly charge? Christo, you might want to just answer that. I think it's the live data. So there is a live data price. I think it's 100. We're charging 100 Rand a month at the moment, which is just basically your like JSE and international live data fee. It covers everything.
I'm not sure what a
You
fee
get kind of your live Google prices, everything is live on there. There is, this is an active trading platform, so there's no option to turn it off. You're coming here to trade actively and live. If you want 15-minute delayed prices and a long-term, to build up a long-term portfolio, like maybe this isn't the right place for you. This is for active trading, but then reach out to us. I mean, we've got a lot of other solutions for, like all sorts of, it depends on your personal requirement as well. But this is a live platform. It's for active traders. It's comparable to IG's CFD platform. That's why there is a live pricing there. I think it's $100 a month, but Crystal will just confirm that. Thank you for platform accents. Thanks. Okay, cool, guys. Unless there's anything else, can one change the background to white? Oh yes, you can. Okay, Crystal's answer. Oh, Crystal, you've been answering all these questions. Wonderful. Thanks, guys. Have a lovely evening. We hope to hear from you soon, and good night.